Hello everyone, it's Sarg. If you've not noticed, some things have changed. Well, actually it might be hard to see from here because it's on the inside. More like underground I should say, but there's a little different thing right here. Like resin. It's not very effective and very efficient. This is definitely subject to change. This is only temporary. Well, just getting the resin I need for the time being. But why would I need resin, you may ask? Well, I've been working on some rooms. I've done a lot of off-camera things that I wish I could have recorded, but I was too focusing on getting something off Amazon that will be very helpful for this later on. For recording and that kind of stuff. It's over in this room right here. Now I needed villagers. A lot of them. So yeah, this is like 60 villagers. So I got farmers, I got masons, I got toolsmiths, weaponsmiths, and armorsmiths. So, and also clerics too. They're all maxed out levels, and also this is an automatic zombie for purification. It only requires one zombie too. So on my original design, I don't know if anyone else has created this in the past. I kind of just was putting something random together. And that's what I came up with. Let's get it behind this here. As you see, the zombie is to be right there, but he's not here right now. He's on the other side, because it does only one. Well, it doesn't just. Well, I should say it doesn't do only one section. It does two entire areas. So he can do this entire area. It's very simple. Redstone. If you don't understand it, it's basically just lever down. When the lever is down, it powers redstone up top. And then the redstone up top power this torch. The torch would turn off. This redstone would turn off, allowing that rail to retract from this direction to this rail right here. And down below, it powers this redstone, powering this to this torch. I'm powering the torch. I'm powering that rail up top. So when the zombie comes in this area, it stops on the rail and then kills the villager. And basically, that's all. And once you turn the lever back on, if all the other levers are off, so I should turn the lever back off, then we'll go around, recycle back to this area. Now, how it's dual sectioned is the redstone wiring from down here. When this lever right here is turned on, what happens is it powers this redstone right here, powering this rail, but keep in mind to keep this rail unpowered, this lever, because if it does, it allows it to go that way. So, because it turns that rail on and turns the power that rail that way. And you want to make sure that this rail is going the same way. So the lever down below actually does it keeps that stuff normal way, except for powers this rail. Or I should say, actually, I've been doing this a little bit. I'm kind of a little confused, I guess. You do have to turn this rail on. It does cycle back through this way, and once that other lever's on, it will turn this connected to that. Once it's connected to that, then it should go this way. Once it goes this way, then it goes all the way to the other side. Which on the other side, where this zombie is, where he actually is. Right here. So he's on this side. Now that should be all. Basically, when it works to that, that's how basically it works. It's really simple. But also when this it comes to this, it doesn't go around this way. It comes to this rail, then it comes in this way, and it goes right there. I don't want to get too close because I have thorns in my armor, and I do not want to hurt him. He's already been hit me a few times. But yeah, so this is what I've basically been doing for the last actually, I think it's been a few weeks. Or the last time I uploaded. Yeah, it's been a good bit. But then not just that. So, other than the 60 villagers, which are all cured and all have good deals, like an iron ingot for an emerald. And if you want to know how much iron I actually have, way more than this worth of emeralds. I have a shulker box that I normally just use emeralds for trading in. right here. So that. I also built a new gold farm too, because the one I had with this device is laggy, which I said the new device will definitely help with that. But yeah, this has been very laggy. But I mean, the gold farm I have now is not laggy for it really. For only 8 gigs of RAM, it's not bad. And this is the other section we're working on right here. So this little staircase down to the next layer, which will be the next villager training hall. But I'll mention, I'm not just building 1, but I'll be building probably 4. I'm not sure. It might stop right there. It might not. But at least a minimum of 4. So it goes down this way. And it's the same on both sides. Then you go down this way. I got some shulker boxes and a chest right here. The other side's now it's cluttered. A little bit cluttered right here though because I'm mining out this area right here. Which right now I do have the roof basically complete. Yeah, it was like very like thinking back and forth about the block pattern. I'm like, what should I do with this? I don't know sure. But after a lot of doing it, it came down to this. So yeah, I think it'll be good. Probably put like yeah, resins. That's what the resin's for though. This and the pillars and slabs. Now the roof is very bright. You've noticed in the last room, the room was more of a dark color, but the walls are bright. This will probably be the opposite. Probably be bright on the roof and more so of a darker color on the walls. Now with the aesthetic of using quartz, quartz is one thing I needed a lot of. You know, for the castle build, I need quartz, and I mean a lot of quartz. So this room specifically, why I'm using quartz for the ceiling, is to indicate more so it's going to be masons in this room, which do happen to sell quartz. A lot of them sell quartz though and quartz pillars too. I wanted to make sure they're selling the block and not the pillar, so hopefully I get lucky, or there's going to be probably maybe a lot of villager killing. But each area is 60 villagers worth. The room up there is mostly just for getting emeralds. So yeah, that's going to be for emeralds. There's a big cave down here. This one will be for quartz. Next layer down will be for librarians. Now, I do have an actual librarian area, but it's very undetailed in a very remote location, kind of where my previous gold farm was, and where my end portal is. So yeah, I really would prefer if it was like my main trader, villager traders down in this area specifically. But yeah, that's basically what I've been up to recently. Not really missed too much. It's mostly just a little bit of building and villager curing, the boring stuff. But for all you people that actually like that technical kind of stuff, for this layer, I will definitely make sure it's recorded. And I mean, I might put in a video somewhere. People that don't want it could skip over it, and then people that want it can definitely watch it. And if you're all intrigued in it and want to do in your own world, then it'd be definitely good to tune in to watch. As you know, this room, I used dark prismarine for the ceiling as well as dark oak, and also I used polished diorite, cherry planks, black stone, and also I used the black stone slabs up there on the lamps. I don't know, I'm just going up to it. So it's 17 blocks tall, every layer. So that even includes the over in that area. It's down a little bit further than this floor. Specifically, the reasons because of the resin layer right here. I completely forgot about this. So I had to completely redesign the staircase a little bit to amplify this to go down even further than before, and so on. And I don't know about you, but I really like the decoration of this. It's subject to change, not really that much, just a little detailing like with these logs right here, maybe connecting to something else. Maybe a little more lighting, but everything else that you see normally is stuck in place and staying. Now, if you're wondering where I got all the villagers, that's from behind here. I actually have a makeshift villager breeder all the way back here. It's nothing special or anything like that, but it was very helpful for what I needed. I'm definitely very feeling like this. There we go. Okay, so like right here, these two guys in a boat stuck, they can't move anywhere. These villagers just right here sleeping away, everything. But yeah, and then eventually they wake up and eventually they'll get trapped in the boat. I take them over and all that kind of stuff. That's what it is for the first layer. Of course, with the new room in the way, yeah, I kind of made it a little bit more complicated things like how I'm going to do that. But overall, it ended out pretty well, and I think it'd be easy. Just take them down here, plop them in the boat, and take them throughout the stairs. Of course, these stuff might get in the way, which I can easily remove and place it back later. And then all the way down here. So yeah, they'll be in the walls, and also that trader hall up there with the zombie. So let's just say I'm going to have to figure out a way to get the zombie to go down a layer as well. So I'm probably going to add an extra switch for floor switching in general. But I think I'll be on the second floor for that. The second floor will have a switch that actually switches the zombie from that floor to this one. Which I think I will like I think it'll be pretty cool, honestly. I could just get into the zombie. It would not be hard at all. But I kind of just want to use the challenge of being able to only use one. It'd be very helpful for other projects, I think. I don't really have to do too much. But yeah, so I'll be building a ravine, and so I'll just be mining this entire area out. Okay, so far, you can see this room looks done. Well, except for that back there. It looks mostly complete, but unlike the second other layer, I have an issue. The stone, and I need to clear it all out. Luckily, though, there's a ravine mostly throughout here. I kind of covered the blocks over on the top and bottom, but I do need to get most of this still out of here. So helping with that, I'm started this right so far. So it's basically why I just need to mine out all this. And I can actually start the redstone bit, but oh wow, that was some lag. After that bit is out, then I can officially move or put in the redstone, but that's going to be a lot of redstone. I don't even know if I have enough resources. So I might have to go on a mining spree to strip mine out for redstone. I might do the bottom world. Redstone's not as efficient back down there, but at least we could get diamonds in the meantime as well. Or I could just trade with my villagers. They do sell redstone. That's a lot of emeralds. I don't know if I could get tons of redstone from that. But a lot of the stone also helps with repeaters and all that. Repeaters aren't needed, from what I know for the time being right now. I still need to find out how to get the zombie down from the second layer to or I should say the first layer to the second. That'll be some redstone testing right there. I think it'll be fun though. But I'll see you when I get all this mined out.
So by this point, I was just mining the entire area out. It took so long to do all of this. I may have not recorded all that I meant to because I was actually going to show you one of the processes when I got a single module mined out. But then before I knew it, I totally forgot to do that. So I was just combining away both sides. Also went up to my villagers and needed to trade a lot of the items that I was getting for them. Also needed more food. But you see, a lot of the trades that they actually have are very helpful too. So we're going to through some of the chests and some of the materials that I did not need. I just decided to completely take the stone up. And I would trade a lot of that with the villagers for more emeralds. That's mostly how I got a lot of my emeralds from my masons. They took a lot of stone. But it was really helpful considering the project I was going through. So I just decided to get some emeralds in time, empty out some of my chests. And also I would take a lot of those items and put them away as well. But once I got that done, then I was going to finally start back on the building process. But as you see from the footage playing right now, that was a lot harder. Or I should say it took a lot longer than intended. And this is even 10 times speed it's going at. So you can expect how much time I put through doing this. But yeah, it's just how it was. But then finally I started mining back again. And then also, once I got all the sides down, you'd also see me putting in redstone as well. I might show some of that. I'm not sure yet. I guess you'll see in the clips up ahead. So by this point, I was just putting in my, I guess you could say, base for where the redstone is going to go in the rails, as well as my zombie purification area for the villagers. So this is kind of just now this is only 5 times speed this time. But yeah, I kind of was forgetting the pattern a little bit, so I went back to my first floor and look what I did. I'm like, oh yeah, and then once I remember, I'd go back down and copy it over. Then, of course, this is only the first process. So this is I basically use this as the, well, how should I put it? I guess you could say, as I said, the base for the redstone dust, rails, and everything else. So once that's all in, then I would be playing on redstone. The amount of redstone is a lot too. I will explain later on how much redstone that is exactly. Just the dust quantity itself. But it is a humongous amount. Especially, I guess, also depends on the size you do it. I do a 30 per side, so of course that makes it a lot of redstone as well. Make sure the place is nice, well lit up. And also I did some both sides as well. But yeah, it's a lot of resources, but it's so handy. So I would totally recommend, if you want to do this yourself, I would totally recommend it.
I thought I should mention to you guys that also the amount of redstone that's used for my specific area, since the 30 villagers per, well, I guess area, per side, takes 93 blocks of redstone and 3 dust. But of course, the blocks are broken down into 2 redstone dust. But also as well as 30 repeaters and 90 redstone torches. Torch to replace, 1 right there. 1 below that rail on that block, right below that, to power the rail right there. And the last one right here. But that's literally how much redstone this takes. It's a lot. So of course, if you want to build en masse, just take note. It is a lot of redstone. So yeah. Then basically just gotta place it all like this, and once it's all powered up, then the thing will basically be ready for getting the villagers dispensed in here. And it's also one of the best ways I could find. I did not find this on YouTube or anything, as I said previously. I did just kind of woke up and messed around with redstone, and then that's what I came up with. There could be other ways to do this. I bet there probably is. Also, I should mention, this is also, I mentioned it earlier, this is double layered as well. So, this is actually the, if I heard the zombie right there, that's actually the same zombie who was on the first floor. I didn't move him down, I'd say manually. I mean, I did have to build a circuit for it. But basically, I built a circuit for when he comes out this way. The rail triggers from one lever, just 8 different triggers. It triggers this to go back this way, and back all the way up there to the second layer, or I guess in this case would be the first. So all the way up to the layer up here. And then it switches to that rail, switches to this rail, puts it right there. So this is the first layer where all my villagers already are. And that circuit basically is also dual-sided, so depending on which side it's on, it doesn't matter. That one lever will take it down there. Note though, the lever that the side the zombie's on, when you use the lever, it puts it down to that layer on that side. But luckily, both layers are dual-sided as well. So basically, if you actually did put it on the side, you didn't want to down this way, like when you went in on that side, you still can change it, not by taking it back up here, but actually it has a switch down there to do that as well. Very, very convenient. Took a lot of resources and a lot of figuring out, because rails are kind of weird. They can be. For instance, this one has to be an off switch to make sure this is going feeding that one. While over here is the exactly opposite. This one has to be an on switch to make sure it's going this way. So that's why it's resin dust instead of torch on this side. But overall, it wasn't that hard to do, and it's very, very convenient. At first I was going to make it where you have to, one switch could do everything for you, so even take it away off that layer and put it down here. But after realizing that would be a little bit difficult to do that, or just really a lot more risk and expensive, so I decided not to. But overall, it still works really nice. But anyway, that's enough of me blabbing about redstone. I know for all you guys that like it, that might be insightful and helpful. I could give a more detailed breakdown if you so desire for it. But for the time being, I'm just gonna keep going, grinding around away at this. And just like that, it's all finished. All my redstone resources I just had, all 93 blocks and 3 dust, it's now all put in. All rails put down, repeaters and all that is fully functional in it. Now, once I actually flip a lever, it should work just the same. It goes down, lever goes down, this turns off, rail goes this way. And the zombie will stop right there. He'll skip all the other rails, but he'll stop specifically at that one. Yep, like that. Then put it back up, and he goes back on his merry way. Then he should go all the way back around, all the way back to there. Turn it off though before he comes back. I don't want him to get hit or anything. Okay. And right comes here he comes, and right there. Yep. Both sides are now complete. So the main thing I have to do now, the villagers. This is gonna take so long. Maybe I should build a crew farm instead. More advanced crew farm, right? I don't have to do villagers right now, right? Right? Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I got no choice. I'll skip ahead. You guys don't have to watch all that tedious nonsense. Okay? Maybe sometime I'll show a little more about transportation, but everyone knows it's not fun. Officially, it is complete. Everything. All the villagers are in place. Every single one of them. Even the ones that sell quartz pillars, I decided to not kill them and replace them. The amount I get is already substantially good. This is from one full side. Or was trading with every single one of them. That was the results of what I got. So it's finally fully finished. They're all maxed out. I don't even want to explain how long that took to do. That took so long. But now the next layer will be my librarians. This one will be fun. I have something really special for decoration. Now I do apologize. I know I have not show you guys all the recording of the block paths and stuff. I'll try to do that more with the next one. I just thought it might be a little boring to see all that, but so if anything, I'll just show what I did with this video. So, how I did some little clips of the redstone. With this one, I'll just do little clips of building here and there and giving a good idea of the block path. I'm going to tell you though, I don't want to give any spoilers about it, but the next floor, I'm going to give you a little bit of insight of what's going to be the theme is going to be kind of magical. So unlike this floor and the last floor, instead of being such a variation of dark and light, I might actually keep some light and dark, though with a mixture a little bit different. For this one, I did floor is bright, ceiling's bright, while last floor, the floor was dark as well as the ceiling was dark, and the walls in this room dark, and the one above bright. So I'm not going to give you a variation like that. It's going to be a little bit random. It might be dark and bright mixture mixed in with all areas. I might right here, I might have the ceiling just dark and light, and the walls dark and light, and the floor dark and light. But I was getting a lot of resin. I'll be using that for the villager cages instead. So I used nether brick for the first, and then I used nether brick, yeah, and then I used normal brick. Next floor will be probably resin. I also possibly a beautiful block known as red nether brick. I know not many people, I've not known many builders that use it, but I myself really like that block. But that will be for next episode. So I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. This has been Sark, over and out.